We're lined up for the start of the Wild Bill 20. Let me walk you around and show you who's racing today, what they are. Got John's Scorpion, got a Batoski here. It's an Arctic Cat. It's definitely a Sox. Looks like a 340 poking out the hood. Maybe a 368, but I'm guessing 340. More cats. They do have a 250 Enticer class at this race. You know, they got more of those Enticers. But there's the mighty Skedaddler. My buddy Brendan's Colt here. We got the Fratsky University entry here. Got to have Fratskys out here with us. It's a tradition. All right, this is Brendan's other Colt. I think Jared might be riding this one. Oh, Jared's riding the black and gold. So Brendan will be on this one. And here's Dennis's ride. And then the Danielskis details there are not fully lined up yet. Not everybody's lined up yet, but we got another 71 Scorpion. We got a real oldie here, and a few more, quite a few. The Scorpion boys seem to favor these giant holes in the hood. So there we go. And like I said, there's more that are lining up, and you know, you'll probably see them. Oh, here comes Greg. Greg and Tim and Bill. I think Greg just took his first test brap. Let's see. All right, Greg, how did it feel?
It's got a lot to go. It's not
there yet?
No.
What, you think you're going to make it?
I'll make it.
Is it better to look good or be fast?
Yeah, it looks good.
All right.
All right, I thought I'd add a little voiceover just to give this some color. So here at the start of the race, I was pleasantly surprised that the Skedaddler was kind of holding its own. Certainly a lot faster than the Scorpion I rode back in 2023. You know, this is just railroad bed, and you know, you can judge from the Skedaddler, nobody's going super fast, and everybody's wide open throttle. So I don't, you know, you'll hear guys brag, "Oh, my one-liner goes 65." BS. Look at this. I mean, the pack isn't pulling away like that. That Skedaddler tops off at maybe 40-ish. So, anyways, there you go. We moved down into the ditch segment here. That's my buddy Brendan right on me. He's much faster. He's a younger guy and way better rider than I am. And his Colt has one thing the Skedaddler doesn't: shock absorbers. So you can see he's pretty smooth there in the ditches. And oh, first one down already. And we're just ripping along. Here comes some more Scorpions, part of the Danielski family. Oh, good driveway there. So these driveways are all yields, and obviously the trees are cleared back pretty far. You can see there's no traffic coming. So hammer down over those. And go through the ditches for a while, then we're up on a bridge. So I think that's probably Jacob Danielski right there on that Scorpion, but I could be wrong. And for sure, that's Dalen Bishop back there on his bubble nose red metal flake Scorpion. And here we go, more driveways. I hope you guys are enjoying the split screen. I use a 360 camera to do this, and you know, it's a lot of work to edit it because I've got to edit it going forward, I got to edit it looking back, looking around sideways. I edit a lot of different views, and then I throw them into my main editing software, and I'm splicing this stuff together. Alright, so here we go. You can see the Skedaddler isn't like a total slouch here. There are some faster guys, but you know, not horrible. Yeah, little road crossing there. And I guess I want to mention this early on so people are still watching and you hear this. If you're watching this and you're really into it, you think you got to do this, don't contact me. It's not my race. I don't give out information on it. I won't be answering any comments. I won't be giving you Todd's phone number in the comments. If you want to do this, go back to the 2025 Wild Bill, and we interviewed Todd, and Todd even gave out his phone number there. And he is the race organizer, and you have to contact him. It's not my deal. And anyways, I hope y'all realize that I work a full-time job in addition to spending many, many hours on YouTube, and I just don't have time to answer your questions about races and events and stuff. Sorry, I'm busy, and you know, if you were a patron, you maybe could ask me over on Patreon, but if you're just a general YouTube viewer, you know, that's not giving a super thanks or anything, well, I got a lot of stuff to do. Hope you can understand that. So, anyways, here we go, hammering down here, and the skedaddler's kind of holding up the train here through the woods. I'm not the fastest. Whoop, little bump there. I'm not the fastest through the woods. I'm not going to kid you there. That skedaddler handles horribly. I can't say that with enough emphasis. If you're hitting bumps in corners, the skedaddler's brutal. There goes Todd. I think that was Todd. Maybe he's on a different sled this year. 3 years ago, that's the sled he was riding. That is Zach Danielski. Not sure who this is on the Enticer. You can see I had plenty of mile an hour on him out on the railroad bed, but in the woods, he's taking me. And a couple more coming up. That's Greg back there in his skidoo. Got another Scorpion. That is Don Danielski on that one. And here comes Greg. And I made a little clip for Greg for his Facebook page that he put up, and he got like, I don't know, he got tens of thousands of views. I don't know if he got 100,000. Last time he told me was a few days ago, and he was at like 70 or 80,000 views. So anyways, looking back again and forward because of the split screen, but back behind us, that's Bill Sparrow and Scott Danielski back there wearing the safety green. So here comes Bill. Bill shot by me because I pulled over for Tommy. So Tommy's broke. He hit his knee on the choke of all stupid things and killed the sled, and then the Hearth recoil did Hearth recoil things, pulled out and wouldn't go back. So we pretty well established the recoil was dead. I cut all that out. I'm just moving on. Skipped a bit of the woods here. There's Bill Sparrow. He went down there.
All right, here we are at the halfway point of the Wild Bill. And as you can see from the video segment, the skedaddler made it.
Okay, you can see I kept halftime really short. I kind of took off mid-pack again. You know, I think that's about where the skedaddler is speed-wise, mid-pack. You'll see some good dueling coming up here in a second. But you can see, I mean, I'm in there. I'm in the hunt on the thing, at least for top-end speed. Everybody is wide open here. We go down the Sioux line for quite a ways. I want to say it's 1.5 miles, 2 miles. And you can see I've actually miled an hour guy there. You know, I beat that Arctic Cat. There goes Don. Don's got some mile an hour on me. But, you know, nobody's burning this up. There is no one breaking the statewide 50 mile an hour speed limit. Even though you'll hear people say that, without a radar gun, and especially with the trail conditions that it was this day, the trail was slow today, really slow. The snow, it came down on Thursday. They groomed it the last night. It wasn't the least bit packed. It was heavy and wet and slushy. So, anyways, this is Zach Danielski, and we'll talk to him later on in the video. But you can see his Scorpion is right there with the skedaddler. And I got to say this about these Scorpion chassis. They're super efficient. And when these guys put a pararail in them, it really rides and handles a lot better than the bogey wheels in the skedaddler. And I think you don't see a lot of bogey wheel sleds out there. They show up here and there. And this year really drove it home for me as to why that is. Slides like a Cat or a Polaris Colt or a Yamaha Enticer or a Pararail, which is really kind of like slides but with wheels. It's a long count rail. They're both a lot better. and they both have shock absorbers on them. And shock absorbers would have been pretty good this year. In fact, whatever I move forward with next year, I'm going to put some ski shocks on that thing as well. I don't think I'm going to run the Skedaddler again next year. It's either going to be a Colt or maybe one of the Duels. So it might even be a complete fresh build, obviously. All right, here comes Tommy, and he took the recoil off. He got towed in, so he got a bunch of penalty minutes put on for getting towed in. I think it was like 5 minutes slower than the slowest guy. But the slow jet there isn't really slow. That Hearth makes some pretty good power. And Tommy's just clipping along, and I'm never lifting on the Skedaddler. You can see how much he's got on the Skedaddler there. I don't know why he didn't work his way up through the pack on the Sioux line, because that thing is pretty much a rocket. Although I'll say this, he still didn't breed 50 miles an hour, I don't think. That was one of the Danielskis broken down in the woods. Might have been, who was it, Zach, that had his ski tip break off? I'm not real sure. He might have been taking care of that. And here we go. This is some great action looking back behind me at these guys. And you can see I'm not really holding them up. They're just struggling to keep up with the Skedaddler. But in fairness, they probably were running the SA280 motors, which is, you know, pretty low horsepower motor. And well, you'll see up ahead. I do let them get by me again. You know, I'm not trying to be a roadblock here. I mean, I'm ancient, and these guys are like 20 years old right here. So if that's John, yeah, he's definitely in his early 20s. So you can see how rough the trail is when you're looking back. The camera does a good job of smoothing it out. Can't really see from the forward-looking footage, but when you're looking back and you see the guys bouncing around, it gives you a pretty good idea. So there we go, and got a little scorpion on scorpion passing action there, and there we go. So good footage there. This is the best thing about editing, is getting this kind of footage, and you kind of trade off from the top to the bottom split screen sometimes. I don't run a split screen all the time, and you can see I'm varying by which screen has the most screen space, I guess you call it. I'm varying where the split is from time to time. All right, I think, okay, this guy in the Indy, he's just a spectator out there. He's probably actually the guy doing the timing, I think. Typically, the timers just run the trail and work their way through the pack and let everybody by. So back there, that's Scott Danielski again, and we're getting into a good duel here. So you can see he's doing better than me in the corners, and you'll see this pretty quickly. He's definitely doing better in the corners, and I am doing better on the straightaways. And this might be that Articat that I passed earlier, and maybe he's fixed whatever was wrong with this thing, because it's definitely got, you know, it's definitely got some top end now. Maybe that's a different guy. I guess I'm not sure who that was. That might have been, there was a Rolleiflex out there running. It could have been that Rolleiflex too. All right, so you can see Scott got around me in some of the corners, but here I am on the straightaway, and I can pull him on the straightaway. So that's a pretty good difference there. And you got a modern sled, but like I said, these guys on the modern sleds, they're with the race, and they're pretty courteous when they're passing and stuff. They're basically race officials, and you know, we ran some sweepers too, and the sweepers stayed way in the back, because the point is for them to pick up any dead sleds and drag them to the nearest road, or they just drag Tommy in. All right, there's Zach with his broken off ski, as you can see, and look at the pull I just did on Scott there. I got way out in front of him. And yeah, I quit with the split screen here. Actually, my camera screwed up. But we're back in the ditch section again and heading towards town. The race is almost done. So obviously I condensed the heck out of this, because my time was like 20 minutes each way. And if there was just a long section where I was running in the woods and there was nobody with me, you know, I kind of cut it out. Especially if it was a long straightaway section where there's nobody with me, I cut that out. I like to just show you where there's some action, where there's some other sleds around. I want to make it interesting. I want to give you guys a view that I don't think anybody else ever has before. Looking around like this. There's lots of guys that they'll run a GoPro and they'll just show you going ahead, which I think this view, looking at a guy that's following me, is way more interesting than a typical GoPro shot. So here in the corner, I lift and the skedaddler bogs, and it bogs bad. You can hear it. All right, it's recovering here, and so for me, I'm wondering right now, do I got enough mile an hour on Scott to pull this off? Because you could see the finish line there. Well, the skedaddler's really starting to clear out, and she's shaping up pretty good. I did have detonation on the first half of the race, and I had to richen it up, and it really started to pull harder. I must have had it too lean, and you can see there's the finish, and good job, skedaddler.
All right, as you just saw, I finished the Wild Bill 20, and that was a pretty epic battle there for the last few miles. That was fun. That is what racing's about. Even if you're the slowest guy, racing the second slowest guy, as long as you're swapping places and passing each other, that's what it's about. So I had a lot of fun. Oh, and by the way, I wasn't the slowest guy. There were still people behind us. Anyways, let's take a look at who survived. A lot of Scorpions survived. The old number 71 down there. Looks like Brendan and Jared made it. Of course, the Fratskis, because they're like the masters of this. Kind of the guys to beat a lot of times. Got a Yamaha. We got a bunch more back here. We got some more Scorpions. Dylan Bishop. My buddy Bill Sparrow, his Skidoo. Tommy finished on the Snowjet, even though the recoil broke. He did a rope start on it. He got the recoil off and did that. So we'll talk to Tommy. More Scorpions. The Skedaddler, the mighty Skedaddler. This is the sled that I had the duel with at the end. And another Yamaha, another Scorpion. He came limping in with a broken off ski tip, as you can see there. I'll get you a close up, but he finished. So there we go. Dennis is getting rescued, I think, and Tim's got to go back and rescue Greg. We don't know what happened to Greg. We know Dennis has no compression. Greg is a mystery at this point in time. We're here with Dylan Bishop, and this was your first Wild Bill 20, correct?
Yep.
What'd you think?
I thought it was great.
Yeah?
It was a great run.
Here comes Dennis.
Dennis, what's on your hood? Did you get roosted?
Yeah. Dennis got a little roosted. All right, back to our interview with Dylan. So what'd you think of your first Wild Bill 20?
It was great. It was fun. And it was fast.
You banged bumpers with some people.
Yeah.
I know you smacked me when you came by.
It was getting pretty close, yeah.
It is a pretty tight race, isn't it?
It is, especially through the corners and stuff.
Your sled's fast, Dylan, and you're a good rider. I was behind you in some really rough stuff, and you were much more composed than I was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you got to lean good, but it steers good. I don't know what kind of carbides I got on there. Grandpa's special, I guess.
Grandpa's special,
yeah.
That's awesome.
So.
And Grandpa, we all know Grandpa. He's the guy that puts on Twin Ports Vintage Fest.
Pretty damn proud. Hey, we put on Twin Ports Vintage Fest.
That's right.
Yeah, we put
Pretty
in a
damn
few
proud
hours.
of this kid, man. He was fun to watch today.
You should be proud. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Dylan, tell me now, this is a Mark II, right?
Yeah, it's a Mark II. It was a 71 wedge, and I cut off the square part and made it round so we could put the stinger hood on it. And then we put a pararail under it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh yeah, the pararail on that super nice Scorpion track.
Yep. And I lost a tensioner bolt.
I've done that on a Scorpion pararail too.
Yep.
They hold together though.
I didn't tighten the jam nut. That was the problem. But that was a 1:30 in the morning ordeal, I guess.
What motor you got?
It's a 368, 340 lower end, like how the 340s are, with a 340 SS cylinder, and it has a 368 piston.
Oh, so it's a big bore 340 SS.
Yeah, it's
Built for ERX.
Well, that explains why you had so much power out there.
right.
That's one of the better motors you could do for this.
Yep, and the carburetor's tuned in good, and it really goes.
Oh, cool.
So-
Well, Dylan, thanks for racing today. It
Yeah,
was
it was
awesome.
fun. Thank you for coming.
There was some carnage on the race. I guess he clobbered a tree. It must have been a stump because the hood's pretty decent yet, but she's all mangled. That's unfortunate. But he finished.
My name's Zach Danelski. Right in the beginning, that was me and Nutter side by side on the Sioux line. On the way there, I hit a really bad clump of grass right by the river, and
We won't say what we call those.
yeah, exactly. And my ski bent, and I thought that was okay. It just bent, and went the whole way there, was fine. And then we got back, and we're looking at it, and it was cracked the whole way up. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to take it easy on the way back. And
There's nothing to do but drive. That's what it's like filming at a race, Zach.
Yep. Anyway, well, made about halfway back here, and I mean the ski was like this, so I'm like, well, I better just break it off now and just take it easy. But I did beat Todd. So
And
that's
you
what
finished.
mattered. Yeah, and I finished.
I beat Todd too.
Yep. So it's always good when you beat Todd.
Is Todd dead last of the people
I
that
think
finished?
he was dead last. Yep.
Fitting.
Yep.
Very fitting.
That's not surprising, but
Cool.
it was fun. It was a blast.
It was awesome racing with you today, Zach.
It was
Here's the
fun.
proud dad, Don.
No, this is my nephew.
Oh, it's your nephew? You guys confuse me with this.
Oh yeah, there's too many of us.
Yeah.
No, we tried our 280 class. It was something we were promoting. We're 16 horse and under. So just keep it simple.
Maybe we'll run the Polaris in that.
Yep.
We'll set up some real race rules next year.
So 280 class, you can run a Polaris 250 Colt in, right?
Yep.
If it's 16 horse or under,
I think you'd be stretching to say a 250 Colt was over 15 horse.
Yeah.
that's the only. The 16 horse is the smallest one Saks made for these snowmobiles anyway.
Yep.
So.
You gonna add that class to the regular Wild Bill circuit, or just to this race?
Well,
Or
there was a trial run for this one, so
Try, I don't know. We'll have to sit down and talk about it, but we're not running traction products or anything.
no,
right? We
you
shouldn't need it with 15 horse.
no. And you're
And it's just for anyone to be able to just get a sled and go, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. So
Cheap Colt, a cheap Scorpion, whatever.
yep.
do it.
Don't have to put juice brakes on it. Don't have to buy these $500 aftermarket clutches. You just get something running and you go.
Nice.
We had fun. I was laughing.
Yep.
I had a good day too.
That was fun. Time for beer.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Yep. And you.
Oh, well, this is how far I made it. Stand trail. Towed to here. Some road. Thanks, Nutter. She's a beaut.
Oh, sorry, I cracked.
Oh, I already cracked mine. I got a spare though.
I was waiting patiently till everybody did it. And we could all be like,
Here, I got it.
All right. So I thought we'd do a little recap chatter here. We're going to show the results of the race after this, but I don't know. So, and I forgot to tell Greg to bring the lawn. My bad.
Oh well.
Totally my bad.
it's parked right there.
Yeah.
So here, I'm going to lead off with this, Dennis. I'm sorry your sled burned down. It's entirely my fault.
Whose sled?
My sled.
Okay.
Here's the deal, and I should explain this for the viewers. When Polaris is this old, even with the Mikuni round slide, used round main jets, not the hex main jets we're all used to, and the translation isn't 1-to-1. And I'll flash the chart up on the screen here right now. All right, so that's an approximate chart. And from the factory, a 250 Colt one lunger would have came with a 120 round, which translates to like a 170. Well, when I was testing this thing last fall, the last time I ran it, it was warm, and I had it down to a 140 to make it run, and I forgot about it and never put a 170 back in.
Okay.
So my bad.
I will say she was running great.
Yeah.
We took off from the start and everybody passed me.
Yeah.
So she was running top notch. And then she lost like 3/4 of the power.
Yeah.
And just,
Well, they can see it in the video because I just showed Dennis's adventure right before they're seeing this.
Dennis's adventure.
Yeah, Dennis's details ride.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that's it. I guess, Tommy, tell them what happened to you.
Well, I went out and in the HR class, there was, 95% of the sleds are going to be faster than me. So I saw two guys coming up behind me. I had a little area. I scooted over and I hit the choke. I looked at the switch it was on. I looked at the tether it was on. By the time I looked at the choke, the motor had died. So shortly after that, you'll see in the video, Nutter pulled up and pulled the recoil out and the cable stuck all the way out. So at that point, Nutter said, "See you later."
Well, we did. I turned the motor over backwards while Tommy tensioned the recoil, because on a lot of motors that'll make it wind in. We figured it'd start on the first pull if you held it wide open, but with these Hearth recoils, that is not what happens. That recoil exploded. We were picking up rollers and all kinds of goofy stuff.
So without that bad luck of the recoil, you would have started it right up again and
Yes.
been on your way.
100%.
And, at the times I still might have been in the position I ended up in. But so then when tow truck Tim, or water pump Tim, he showed up and we actually got one yank out of it and it started. And I'm like, I'm still in this. As I was putting my helmet on, it died. And then the cable was all the way out. So then we proceeded to do the tow of shame. And I got there after everybody got there.
Yeah.
Halfway stop.
I think I owe Tim a belt.
And a taillight lens.
Oh, you smacked his taillight
And the
lens.
cable came unhooked and it came up and I looked. I don't have a nice one. That had a nice.
Okay.
So and then the 488 overheated a little bit, and so then I had to be towed in.
Yeah, who towed you in? Patron Kurt?
Yeah.
Kurt with an I, K-I-R-T, towed you in.
Yeah, roosted all over me. It was a blast.
Yep.
And then halfway, everybody was there. I roll in. We found an Allen wrench, pulled the recoil off. Tim had a goat rope or whatever, and I had a screwdriver, and we started it. And I took off at the very back. If you'll see the videos or whatever, I let everybody go, and just because. And I got it cleaned out. It was really rich. Got it cleaned out, and off we went.
Yeah, but you didn't finish last, even though you took out last.
Oh yeah, I passed you in short order.
Yeah, well, about 2 miles. All right, Greg, I came right at about the same time Tommy was coming around me. We both went around you on the way back.
Yeah.
Get it up here.
Mine was a little bit lean, She burned down, stopped, dead
On the return trip.
on the return trip. Yep,
Yep.
about 2-3 miles out of Denham.
Yeah. Yep. And that's about where Tommy passed me.
How long did you have to sit on
Almost
the trail?
simultaneously.
Half hour.
Not 4 hours.
No, no. Tim was there pretty
That's
quick
less than last year.
with the truck and trailer.
All right, so
Bummer.
for my part on the skedaddler, it didn't have, on the way out, it didn't have the wide open power I wanted it to. And eventually I realized I was hearing it detonate, like detonate bad, but it wasn't melting. So probably because as soon as I heard the detonation, I backed it off to 3/4. And of course, the Tillotson doesn't have a needle in it that reduces your fuel when you do that. You just cut your air back so it richens it up when you back it off a little. And I'm coming down the Sioux line and pinned her and turned the screw while it was wide open until it quit detonating, and it was much better after that. So the R295 and the JLo, it survived. And I survived. And I made the trip, although I was plenty sore and beat up.
Yeah, me too. I the belt guard and the motor shroud got me on both of my knees and the other side of both of my legs because I haven't ridden much, and so I did go the whole 20 except for I was towed.
You were towed quite a ways. You were about 6 miles.
No.
Oh, yeah.
4.5 to 5 at the most. I made it happen. But anyway,
But anyway,
So you had plenty of gas.
yes. Well, I didn't realize until later. Nutter said that he had put the bigger tank in since this ran in the DL 100 about 12 years ago.
That's right. Tommy's got history with this sled. He ran it in a 100-mile one-lung race. It was in 2010, actually, Tommy.
It was really in.
I got the trophy.
Okay, I was going to look and
16
see.
years.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's why I feel older now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
He
so
was old then.
we'll just give you a brief touch on plans for next year. Obviously, I'm going to put the Colt back together, and I'll make sure it's jetted right. Yeah.
It needs more power.
Yeah, we're going to rebuild the recoil on the slow jet. I already bought some parts for it. And then the skedaddler, I'm not racing it. I'm racing a Skarul or build another Colt. I want something that has a shock absorber in the skid and one on each ski, and maybe 2 shocks in the skid. I don't know. But the skedaddler was just too bouncy and rough and hard to control. So that's where I'm at. Greg, what are you doing for next year?
I'll probably put a 3.8. Probably put a 318 and enter the 280 class. That's a 280 class, 16 horse class.
Is it? Are they going to let you, do you think?
I talked to Don and Todd about it. They said it fits the horsepower.
Well, I told them we should put the 250 Colt in that class, and they kind of poo-pooed on me. I'm like, oh, you're dreaming if you think a stock one makes 16 horsepower. Now, if you put a 488 Fander cylinder on it, okay, now you bumped it up to over 20. But that thing stock, I had a Mark I Scorpion with the 280 in it, and it would have smoked it. So, I don't know. That's my take.
Although he said I couldn't run the hydraulic brakes. I'm like, why? It's safety. And
Yeah.
we'll have to talk about it.
Cornering.
Yeah. I don't know. I never touched the brakes on the skedaddler.
I'm thinking mild, Bill.
Only on the takeout, getting my RPMs up, I was just kind of holding the brake a little bit.
So I'm either doing the Colt or a Skarul next year, though. And I got 2 more Colts coming. So there you go. They just aren't here yet. All right.
The Snowjet did perform. I mean, it ran the whole way. I messed with it a little bit. You fattened it up too much on the second half, so I had to bring it back just a hair. And it was running nice and extended handles on it. That throttle handle was pinned to the handlebar a lot.
Yep.
So
So was the skedaddler.
And the Elon.
Yeah.
And the Colt. It's been there.
Where did you
It's
sign
been
it?
there.
All
I
right.
haven't signed it yet.
We're going to edit this back in.
You should probably sign it on the video.
No.
Yeah?
All right. So,
Because
Dennis,
you could go right down here underneath.
Greg is really the expert on this because Dennis just learned about it on Saturday. And Greg,
I
Greg,
remember it from a few years ago.
Greg held the chicken for a year. You want to tell him what it is, Greg?
Choke the chicken.
Hold the mic up and tell him.
Choke the chicken.
I did choke the chicken.
Choke the Chicken is a special award for whoever is the first one out of the race. It's a traveling trophy. I don't even know what the oldest date is on there.
the way I see it, it was a 20-mile race. I made it 5. That's pretty good.
That's about what I made it on the Scorpion.
I don't know. It sounds like choking the chicken to me. You were the first one out,
So
that's
this
for
is
sure.
going to be, we all got it. It gets autographed every year by whoever choked the chicken.
Only you.
I know, but this year I'll put my initials on it, but it's going to be proudly displayed inside the Nutter Speed Shop. Not my shop.
And I see Greg's initials right here.
Yep.
Wait.
With a Scorpion.
Yep.
I'm thinking right back here.
No, I'd go right up in front.
All right.
The order of results, I'm going to go Mod, HR, HD, and then Mild Bill at the end. So, here we go. Third place in the Mod class goes to Corey Procker on his Articat with a total time of 35 minutes and 46 seconds. The trail was not fast this year, as you can tell, but it was smooth. We had snow.
That monster mod, 33 hours.
You get your money back and you get a trophy. There you go, if anything. All right. Second place. Second place in the mod class goes to Gary Johnson with a total of 32 minutes and 7 seconds. This guy on this sled, he won the Midwest 100, was it 2 weeks ago? Gary, are you around? Are you still here? There he is. This guy's an Iron Man here. You're doing it. Yeah, thank you very much. And all 3 positions, you'll get your name on the plaque eventually when I get it to Tom and he has time to do it. Okay, first place in the mod class goes to Chaz Maloney with a total time of 32 minutes and 1 second. That was a close race, I guess, for that. And gotta thank for these awards, Mike has given gift certificates to the squirrel cage here on top of it, so you kind of get a pretty good award here for this one. But thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for coming. There's that. There's your trophy. Thank you. Guard it well. So. All right, that was the mod class. God, I hope I gave the right trophies. Yes, I did. Okay. I got to remember this because I got an announcement. All right. Move on to the HR class. And he managed to pull this off even though he smoked a tree and destroyed his snowmobile. And thank goodness my youngest boy, he's a good Samaritan. He knew he wasn't in position, stopped and pulled him out of the handlebars and off of all the other stuff. But, oh, wait, that was the first place. Never mind, you wait. Okay. We'll go to third place. Third place in the HR with a total time of 36 minutes, 8 seconds goes to Keith Jusak. And he was riding my snowmobile. How come I can't do that? Did he go home? He's tall. Shouldn't be too hard to pick out. HR, second. There's some money with you. Get your money back. How about that? There you go. Okay, second place in the HR class goes to, with a total time of 35 minutes and 57 seconds, Don Danelski on his bug. Hey.
All right, Don.
There you go. You still haven't got first place, have you? No. And, like I was saying, guy pulled it off. HR first place, 34 minutes, 4 seconds. And he crashed. I mean, it runs still and it'll drive. I don't know. Holy cow. He didn't get Sheldon Fratsky, first place. There you go. There's that. Thank you, Sheldon. You don't need a hospital. That's good. All right, this was a big class this year. We'll move on to the HDs. We actually had 12 sleds in half the fleet out there were HDs, like a good old fashioned. It's kind of fun. But so we'll go with third place in the HD class with a total time of 29 minutes, 39 seconds. Brendan Bungert on his Polaris. These things are fast. Did you win it 2 years ago?
Yep. Three?
It was 3 years ago already.
I think it was
that super snowy year, wasn't it? Yeah. It's a fast sled.
Thank you.
Thank you. Second place in the HD with a total time of 29 minutes. Did I got this right? Yeah, 29 minutes, 19 seconds. Number 797, Wyatt Hooper. Just start calling him Wyatt Cooper, right? I think this is Bill's nephew. We'll spell it right on the plaque. And first place. I mentioned this. Somebody's got to figure out how to beat this guy. It don't matter if it's on ice. If you could be racing across Antarctica or the desert or wherever on a snowmobile. Even with the slow conditions, he got 28 minutes, 46 seconds. Dustin Fratsky. Somebody's got to learn how to beat him. This guy wins every time. There you go. You're going to have a big pile of those. Thank you, Dustin, for coming. Oh, you guys. Okay. Now, this year, we kind of started a new class. Jacob and Zach and Donnie. I call it the mild bill. Is it mild build? Mild build. Mild build. And what it is 280, an SA280, a Sachs. It's a 16.5 horse motor. It's about as small motor as you can get. There's a couple other ones that are less, but basically you can use that motor or something with less horsepower. It's got to be a full-size sled, a minimum track length of 116 inches and no studs. It's basically pull it out of the barn and run it. And what else am I forgetting about that? Bowman, basically, yeah, it's pretty simple. But you can take an SA280, put it in a Yamaha chassis or a John Deere, just throw that little motor in any, and that way you can get more colors out there and different brands and everything. So it's quite fun. So, and we actually did a test run last weekend after that rain, and everybody's worried, oh, the trail's gonna be bad. I said, oh, don't worry. Well, hopefully the trail's bad. We want it bad. That way we don't see any new stuff out there and less chance of us killing it. Anyways, yeah, Kevin, I see you. But it was tough riding last weekend, but we got the snow and it was great for this one. So, without further ado on that, the first running, and you don't get anything for this other than, oh no, I did give you some money back. Yeah, I promised, okay. You don't get the trophy though. And Don made this. Look at that. Instead of a green weenie, now it's a traveling trophy. Yes. This is a traveling trophy. So it's nice and heavy. And we'll grind off the weld here and put 2027 for next year on it if you want. But anyways, third place in that class goes to Jacob on the Screaming Shits. That's the name of his sled. There you go. You don't get the trophy, but you get your money back at least. So you can buy a beer. Second place. Second place in the mild bill. Like I said, he running my sled. Keith, come and get your money. Hey, Polak. Do you want me to keep it? You got second place. You don't get a trophy, but you get your money. Look at you coming out smelling like a rose on all this. All right, and winner of this trophy. Look at this thing. It's nice. I think Zach and Don, they built that a couple nights ago. First place in the Mild Build 20 with a total time of 35 minutes, 57 seconds, Don Danelski. I think he was cheating. You know what? Here, put that in your pocket because you need both hands to carry this thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, and from there,
that's Tommy's.
I found Speedy's. I won't say it. Okay, after all this is Choke the Chicken. And this is a traveling trophy we've been giving out for quite some time. You see a whole lot of initials and dates on it. And this goes to the first sled to be out of the race, basically break down, put out. I was one stuck ring away from having that this year. On the way out, my motor seized up twice and fairly early, and I went, oh my God, I got the chicken. But it started up and actually, it runs better with a stuck ring. Anyways, this goes to, who do I got? I got
Dennis
it written on
Lutz.
it. Dennis, where are you? It's on it's on Nutter's sled, the Polaris Colt, on the, yep, and from HR number 6 Polaris. There you go.
The key point is Nutter's sled.
It is not, yeah.
You guys you'll see it
now
displayed
you got a
probably
reason.
on Nutter Speed Shop YouTube channel for
You'll
12
have to
months.
initial it or whatever, put your name and the date you want it, and you put that in your garage, and you got to bring it back next
No,
year.
that goes in the speed shop.
And hold it proudly. So, those are all the results.
Anyways, with that said, I want to say huge thanks to all the patrons. For those that don't know, well, I run my membership off-site on a website and an app called Patreon, and it's a lot like a YouTube membership, but it's off-site. So for a small donation each month, the patrons get their names up on the screen, as you can see. They get to see all the videos early. They get to watch them ad-free on Patreon. And when I get time to do some editing, they get patron-only videos. So really appreciate you, patrons. I also want to say huge thanks to everybody that shot us a super thanks. Really helps with the YouTube algorithm. YouTube loves that. And also anybody that sent us anything like a PayPal donation or to the P.O. Box, we appreciate all of you. So there you go. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.